So a year ago, I started a journey to fix my credit. I was determined because I was ready to buy my first home. So I checked my credit score, and guess what it was? A 573. I knew I couldn't get the house I wanted with a score like that, so now it was time to put in work. In about a half a year, my score went up to a 752. And in a few more months after that, it was at a 780. And I did it all on my own. And I got the house I wanted. A new construction, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house that's over 3,000 square feet. And get this, the interest rate was only 2%. So if you're ready to fix your credit so that you can get your dream home or whatever else your heart desires, then make sure you stick around.
It's cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night beneath the mistletoe. It's cold outside, 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 outside. It's cold outside, outside.
What's up, guys? This is Monique and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by, but don't just be a stranger. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the family, because here we go everywhere in life together and all we do is win. So let me first start off by saying this. Credit Karma is not a good, reliable source to check your credit score, because you're gonna see that beautiful high score and then you're gonna get to that mortgage lender, then they're gonna tell you that your score is like 100 points less, and you're gonna be like, what? But Credit Karma told me that it's 1,000. But Credit Karma uses the Vantage scoring system, which is different from what lenders use. Lenders use your FICO score. FICO scores are what you need to be looking at. Now there are different type of FICO scoring systems, but one place that you can get a good FICO score is at Experian.com. Now Experian may be a few points off from what your lender uses, but for me it was off by maybe like only 2 points. And the second thing I want to tell you is that there is no magic to fixing your credit score. So keep that in mind while you're on this journey. This will not be an overnight process, and give yourself time to get there. So let's get right into it. First thing I did on the road to that 780 credit score is to get my credit report. Now you do need all 3 credit reports from all 3 credit bureaus. That's TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. And that's simply because one report may have a derogatory mark that another doesn't. So you don't want to be looking at that one report and be like, oh yeah, I'm all good, and didn't realize the other one over here has the negative mark. So make sure you get all 3 credit reports. So I'm not gonna just shoot Credit Karma down altogether, because they are good for something, and that is checking your credit report. Credit Karma actually has the TransUnion credit report and the Equifax credit report, and of course it's absolutely free. The second place that you want to go and get your credit report from is Experian.com. That's the place I told you have the good FICO scores that you can look at. But Experian will give you the Experian credit report. The next thing I did was review the credit report. We're gonna call this part the diagnostic. We gotta look at that report and see what's wrong, see what's going on, see what we gotta fix. So after I looked at that credit report, I looked at every single thing on it, and I pulled out all the negative parts. I looked at loans, credit cards, late payments, collections, and whatever else that was on there that just should not be on there. Now after making what I call the repair list, the next thing that I had to do was organize the list in order of importance. Now the most important thing to me was my active accounts. Now active accounts are those accounts that are still open and receiving charges. So for my active accounts, I had about 2 loans and I had 3 credit cards that were maxed out. So now that I got my active part of the list together, I moved on to my inactive part, and those for me were the closed accounts that had gone into collections. And also I had some late payments, but those were on accounts that had been closed. So now that I have my list that's complete, it's now time to start to get to work. So the first place I started again was with the active accounts, but of those active accounts I started with the loans first. And the only reason I started with the loans first was because they were easier for me to pay off. Now let me tell you something, you have to do what works for you. If it's easier to start with your credit cards, then you start there. I just started with what my bank account allowed me to. So I paid off both loans, and that brought my score up 12 points. Not a huge increase, but that's all right. We getting somewhere. I told you, you gotta pace yourself. It's gonna be a journey. So now I moved on to those credit cards. After going to Google University, yes, that is the internet, I found out that the best thing to do when it comes to credit cards is to keep your credit card usage less than 30%. Preferably less than 10% if you can, but we're gonna go with whatever you can do. The main thing is to get that credit card usage down. Now there are so many ways that you can handle credit cards, like if you have the funds to max it out if you need to, but pay it off before the next billing cycle, you can do that, but we're not gonna get into that right now. Right now we're focusing on what we need to do to clean up our credit. So all of my credit cards were used to their maximum potential. You know, I had come on rough times in life like many of us do, and I had to live off of my cards for a moment. That's not good when it comes to your credit card score, because they want to see that you are using your card because you want to, not because you need to. So I actually paid one of my credit cards completely off. The other one, which was about a $2,000 limit, I paid it down to 5%, which was about $100. And the third one, it was a $500 limit that was maxed out, and I paid that one down to about $25. So that's about another 5%. So after handling all my credit cards, I checked my score again, and guess how many points it went up? 82 points. So y'all, having your credit cards maxed out is really hurting your score. Try very hard to get it down as much as you can, because it's going to boost those scores up high. Now with my loans and my credit cards together, that brought my score up about 100 points. And that's the things on the active part of my list only. So if you take care of just those two things, you're gonna be looking pretty good. All right, so now we done with the active list. We're gonna move on to the inactive list, collections. And believe me when I said I had plenty of them. But all of the collections I did have were medical collections. Now, I heard that with the new FICO scoring system, that medical collections does not hold any weight when it comes to your score. However, I don't believe that all of the lenders are using the new FICO scoring system. So that means when it came to me and trying to buy this beautiful house I have, those medical collections hurt my score tremendously. So guess what I ended up doing? I disputed every single collection that was on my credit report. Now, I did my dispute online. Now, you know I told you I went to Google University. I am not an expert in any way when it comes to credit repair, so I learned through the internet. Now, I did not know that it's better to use letters at that time. So please, before you fix those little fingers, to type down in this comment section and say,
Monique, you should never dispute online. You should always use your letters.
I know now, I know. But I'm just still gonna share how I handle things with you. So I disputed online, and I made an account with each of the 3 credit bureaus. Again, that's Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. Now, you can use Credit Karma to dispute, and they have TransUnion and Equifax. I just personally prefer to make my own account with each of the credit bureaus. So after doing that, I went through the online process, which is pretty simple. I submitted everything to them. Once you dispute anything, they have 30 days to gather all the information and respond. So I waited 30 days. All right, 30 days is over with now, and I got a response. And guess what? I got 1 collection deleted. Now, had I written the letters, then maybe more of them would have come off, but I was still excited, because guess what? There's one less thing that I have to pay. Now, when I say writing letters, I'm referring to those 609 letters. All you have to do is Google it, type it in on YouTube, and you'll hear all about it. So now it was time for me to move on to the next phase of collection. Since all of the things that I disputed were not removed, I had to go to war, which means I had to call the collection agencies and try to settle with them, because I was not paying full price. And you know why? Because these collection agencies only paid a few pennies to the dollar for your collection. So why would I pay you full price? Some people wouldn't pay collection agencies at all, but I was trying to get that score to skyrocket because I wanted a beautiful interest rate, in which I got a 2% interest rate on my mortgage. That's a beautiful rate to have. So under my list with the collections, I had the collection agency name and their phone number. So for my collections, I called each of these collection agencies and I tried to settle. The number I had in mind, again, was 30%. I did not want to pay more than that. And again, that's because they didn't pay much for it anyway. Now, another big thing when it comes to settling with the collection agencies, I told them I would settle if they delete. You have to do a settle for deletion, because if you settle with those collection agencies and they just mark paid on there, although it may look better to say paid, it will not move your credit score. So it's very important that you have them to delete it and have it removed from your credit report. That's the only way those scores are going to go up. Now, I did pay a little more than 30%, and that's because I didn't have time to be going back and forth and all this stuff trying to get it down. If you have the time, then you do what you have to do. Me, I was trying to get into my house ASAP. So I was like, you know what? I'll just pay what I have to pay and move on. Now, some people, they may have let it sit, but I'm telling you that this helped my score jump up a lot. After having that one collection removed from dispute and the rest of them removed through the settle and delete process, I had only one collection left. So now it was time to check my credit score. I checked that score and it went up 56 points. That's a lot of points to just let sit on your report. Now, if you don't want to, that's on you. You know, you could sit there and let it fall off in the 7 years when they have to let it fall off. But for me, I was trying to get those 56 points now. So at this point, I'm sitting at a 752. So the last thing I started working on my credit report was my late payments. Now, these late payments had happened 2 years ago, so it was no big effect, but I just loved a beautiful, clean, positive report, so I didn't want anything negative on it, so I disputed it. And again, I disputed it online through each of the credit bureaus. Again, don't fix your fingers to type me to tell me about disputing online. I told you I know now, but I did what I did then. All right, but in me disputing online those late payments, I got both of them removed. So it does work sometimes. My score didn't go up much from having those late payments removed, but I did get that final collection removed, and my score ended up going up another about 8 points or so, because at this point I was at a 760, y'all. I was so happy. Oh my goodness. So I went on through the process and bought my beautiful home, and once I got that mortgage and it went on my credit report, now you would think that your score dips because of the huge amount, and this is a big amount that went on my credit report, but it did the absolute reverse. My score went up another 20 points, and that's because my credit mix looked better. If y'all want to hear all about how you are actually graded for your score, drop it down in the comments below. Also, if you are interested in hearing about the mortgage lending process, what all I had to go through with that and what works, what doesn't work, drop it down in the comments below, and I'll definitely make another video about that, because I'm telling you, y'all, 2021, I know every time a new year is coming, we say this gonna be our year, that gonna be our year, but I'm letting you know right now, success is ours, y'all, and we gonna get it, and I'm gonna help y'all get there, and y'all can help me get there too. So this is pretty much how I got that score up to 780, guys. I'm sorry if you was looking for a magical spell, a potion to get that score up like this. It does not work that way. All of these things for me happened in about a year. So just take the time to work on it. This is all I have for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. Hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know where you are on the credit journey process. Make sure you come back and let me know if you've tried any of these things and how you've been successful in them. I really appreciate all of you guys, and until next time, see you later. Peace.